Hey future Seahawks, are you looking for ways to get involved on campus and get paid at the same time? I interviewed 3 student employees to ask them about their experience working on campus, and here's what we got. First, we'll bring it to Luke to talk about being an orientation leader.
My name is Luke Dotson. I work for the Transition Programs Department as a orientation manager / leader. And basically what Transition Program does is we help facilitate orientation for new students, transfer students. During the summer, it's orientation almost 2 times a week, 2 days for each session, and we kind of lead the students around campus, get them to certain lectures, and then spend time with them, help them feel welcome to UNCW. During the school year, it's, for me at least, it's a lot of planning, a lot of looking at dates, see if they work with other people. I evaluate resumes and things like that. We do inventory, stock, things like that. So I'd say this job has benefited me a lot. It's helped me a lot with social interactions, like learning how to talk to people better, and just getting to meet people and get out there is really awesome. A lot of the things I've gained from it is just a lot more dependence on myself and my team as a whole. Some of the biggest things I've gained out of it also is just the relationships I've built from event, whether it's with my coworkers, pro staff, or even new students. It's just like I've created a lot of lifelong bonds that mean a lot to me. Those people mean everything. So the hiring process to become an orientation leader is very selective. Basically, we have a group interview at first, and that's where all the new applicants will get together in a room, and we'll have different activities for them to do to test their different abilities. And then if you make it past the group interview, you go into solo interviews with orientation manager like myself and a pro staff member like my boss Kenyetta. If you get accepted because of that, we move on to orientation duties, which it's a lot of fun, and I definitely recommend y'all apply because I loved it. It was a blast. You should definitely apply because it's basically just getting to live with your best friends the entire summer.
That sounds so fun. I want to be an orientation leader now. Next, we'll bring it to Leah, who works in the Career Center.
My name is Leah Hudgens. I'm currently a junior, majoring in anthropology and secondary education teacher licensure. I also have a minor in pre-law. But I'm a front desk student worker at the Career Center here at UNCW. My day-to-day is pretty simple. It's mostly spent at the front desk. I answer the phone, I manage the calendars for our counselors in our office, in a part. I also approve all of the jobs and internships that come through our profile for sending jobs out to students, Handshake. So all the jobs that come through us, we just go through the guidelines, and we can kind of vet them and approve them based on our processes, our guidelines, and state guidelines as well. I do that, and then I also just kind of maintain things around the office, of course, keeping things kind of clean in my area. I've gained, probably the best skill that I've gained from this job has been my professional development. Previously, I worked in customer service roles, so I was very confident when I got here about customer service and dealing with students, faculty, whoever may come through the door. I was already fine with that. But in terms of professional development and gaining those office skills, those corporate skills needed for networking, professional communication, and just maintaining a positive culture about yourself, how to market yourself, all very important skills that I think are not necessarily would be hard skills, but skills that are a little understated and still definitely need to be taught, especially among college populations. The hiring process to me felt fairly simple and straightforward, which I definitely appreciated. I sent in a resume and a copy of my schedule. About a week later, I was called back and asked to interview, so I came in for that. It's actually a pretty big day. I was running around all over campus, but the interview went super well. They basically asked me about my previous work experience, which was a lot of customer service, and why I wanted to work here in terms of, my answer was mostly about an increase in responsibility and professional development. Following that, I waited about another 3 days, and then I was basically told that I was accepted and came on board and started the training process about a week later. I definitely think that not even just working here, but working any job on campus is so valuable. The amount that I've been able to get done in terms of extracurriculars outside of this job has probably been entirely possible due to this job and the scheduling freedom that they have allowed me to kind of be able to step away. I just don't think that you're going to find a job outside of campus right now that emphasizes that students are students first, and that sometimes we have to have priorities inside and outside of work. And if you have an understanding office like any of the ones you're going to find on campus, I think you're just going to have a much better work experience starting out in the professional field.
Working on campus is starting to sound better and better. Next, we'll bring it to Tiana, whose job literally pays for her housing.
So I'm Tiana Schwab. I work for HRL. I'm an RA in Bell Call on the 3rd floor. Typically my day-to-day in this role is checking in on residents, talking to them a lot in the lobby and hearing about all their life problems, roommate issues, anything like that, and really just handling them and helping them figure out how to have those difficult conversations and helping them learn what services to go to on campus when they need help with certain things that I cannot personally help them with. And kind of just an ear to listen to for the most part. Being an RA has really benefited me in becoming more out of my shell and taking on those leadership roles. I wasn't always good at vocalizing and kind of taking that control, but this job has been more laid back, but also very beneficial in me getting comfortable with leading people and taking that control in a healthy way, of course. Some other benefits of being an RA is they pay for your housing and they pay for your meal plan, and you get a stipend of $200 every month. That's not including desk shifts that you decide to pick up throughout the semester. So it's really beneficial for those who are worried about paying for school, not knowing where they're going to live, even out of state. A lot of out-of-state students really struggle with the out-of-state price range, so that's one thing that being an RA can truly be beneficial for. For me, becoming an RA, I started out as a desk receptionist here in Bell Call, actually, and I became really close with a bunch of the RAs who worked here, and I loved getting to know the residents as I sat behind the desk and listening to them and listening to the other RAs and hearing about their experiences. And so I knew that was something that I wanted to do. I reached out to my ARC who I worked for at the time, and she instructed me that I could go onto Handshake and apply to be an RA. So that's what I did. I submitted the application and prayed that I got the interview. Once I got the email stating that I could go in for an interview, I was very excited. We walked in, there were 3 or 4 different days that they held interviews, and you rotate it between 3 different tables. From there, they basically rank you and give you a score. They all then have a big old meeting where they look at the scores and they start with who has the highest score, who has the best score. Your year and where they think you will fit best might determine where you get placed. So once they place you, they send you the email and you can either accept it or deny it, or you will get an email that you didn't get it, or you can be placed on the alternative route. Once all of that happens, you start up your training in the spring semester, and then you move in early and you go through 2 weeks of training as well, and you're here.
So some things I've learned about on-campus jobs. Number 1, Handshake is where all the jobs get posted. It's generally not too difficult to land a position, and they come with so many benefits. It's really looking like I might want to get a job, or 2, or 3. Those are just a few of the ways that you can work on campus here at the Dub. We hope this has inspired you to get involved on campus, and as always, wings up.